All right, just we the people news, educational purpose only. Okay. Um, this is live, so I kind of backtrack because this part I really liked. So let's go.
We'll see what happens.
Thank you.
I'm expecting to get. See, I'll make that bigger so it's easier to read. There's actually a lot of court cases that talk about this. It's not, there's a lot of court cases. This is all a commerce clause, and if you're in the commerce clause, there's no common law, and it's a dictatorship, and so you don't want to be there, and
Yeah.
so
There's ministers. They have a purpose. So,
and they can regulate it. I don't have a problem with them regulating it, but I don't want to be in the commerce clause. Now that doesn't mean you can't buy and sell and you can't do business with people. I mean, commerce has a very specific definition, the commerce that they're talking about. And so that doesn't mean like I can still, get compensation for my labor. I can still and not be in commerce. And I can. A friend of mine has cell phones, and he buys and sells cell phones all day. He's not involved in commerce. Okay, he doesn't have to be involved in commerce to do that. And so commerce has a very specific definition. And what gets you into that commerce? One of the biggest things is the Federal Reserve notes. There's people I know that do that stuff. There's people I know that have game rooms, and they have a big sign out front saying no Federal Reserve notes allowed, and they only use silver coin in that game room, and the cops leave them alone. They leave them alone. And game rooms are illegal in Texas, but they have one, and the cops don't mess with them. And so,
that we can all make a private. Lodge, right? They serve alcohol on these places too, and don't get their license. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Yeah.
So if you stay away from the biggest thing is Federal Reserve notes and commercial paper, but there's other things that are required to get you into commerce, international commerce. If you're buying something from a foreign state, well, then you're gonna that could be commercial, and so or overseas. But even a private man like me, I can order something on eBay from overseas, and I'm not involved in commerce. Now, they can be involved in commerce, but I'm not. I'm just a private man. I'm buying something. And so I'm not involved in commerce. They can be. And so they have the requirements. I'm not buying it to keep an inventory. I'm buying it to use it. You know what I mean? If I was buying a large amount, then they could consider that commercial. But, because I was going to sell it, turn it around and sell it, but it would have to be a very large amount. But so anyways, you have to understand that. Some people think that just because you're going and buying some milk at the grocery store that you're involved in commerce. No, that's not true. And you can't, you don't have to do that.
Well, I'm not too worried about it either way. I'm going to learn both sides of the equation. So, I'm going to do what I do. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, unto God what is God's. I can do both, and people, get fearful of that. But I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn it all.
Well, yeah, it's a journey.
I need to know when and where and what venue I'm in, for instance, So, I know what hat to wear. When I learn that, then, when a man or woman learns how to do that, well, it's all good. It's all good, I think.
Yeah, I try and stay away from commerce. You have to be careful about that because there's no common law there. And so that's why, like when I filed this lawsuit, I went and actually paid the filing fee, and I filed a notice of objection to the extortion racket. And I told them that they're not authorized to, that I'm not a U.S. citizen, and they're not authorized to tax me, and I'm immune and under the 11th Amendment, and they can't convert it right into a privilege. And so the point being is that once I file that notice of objection, they can't use it against me. And so it's the same thing as if you object. Then and I put on the money order. I wrote on the money order when I made it out to the court. I wrote on the bottom under the comments. I wrote extortion, and I told them I wanted a copy of it, and so they were glad to give me a copy. And so I attached it to the notice of objection, and so they can't use it against me. And so and then they sent me a notice that I had like 10 days to set up electronic filing, and I said I responded in response to the electronic filing requirement. I said sure, no problem. I'll set up the electronic filing when you send me your statutory and delegated authority that requires me to get a social security number and requires me to get a driver's license and requires me to get a bank account, and then I need a Fourth Amendment warrant that shows that I'm required to disclose all that information. And it was crickets. and now the judge, every time there's a motion, he sends me an order saying that I got before me this motion, and so you got until this time to respond, or there might be an answer to the motion without your response. And so he's babysitting me is what he's doing, and that's good. I like that.
Sure. Are you attorney in fact?
I don't bring that up. They're calling me pro se, and I just tell them I'm a man. I'm a man.
There you go.
And if I'm anything, I'm pro per. I tell them I'm pro per, not pro se. And so yeah, I that's what I'm doing. And so
there you go.
And I think they respect that. The first time I did this, I filed a lawsuit against FedEx one time, and FedEx removed it into federal court, and I didn't want it in federal court. I figured they'd dismiss it, and so I told them, but I never went into court and told them this, but I sent paperwork in. And I said, I have nothing but contempt for you and your so-called court. You have an inferior court of limited jurisdiction, and everything you do is brutum fulmen. And brutum fulmen means Latin for an order is an empty noise. Anyways, and after that, he was so nice to me, I couldn't believe it. I felt guilty after that. So they respect it. They respect it when you tell them the way it is, and especially if you're right. If you're right, then they respect that. It's when you go there and start begging that they just walk all over you like you're a piece of crap. You know what I mean? And so I've had nothing but respect from the judge, and that's good. That's appreciated, and he babysits me a little bit. And that's good. I don't mind that either. I don't want to. I want to help him to help me. You know what I mean? And so he's got to maintain impartiality and all that stuff. But I think I'm kicking their butt. They filed so many motions to dismiss, and I turn around and file a motion to strike. Well, a lot of them I filed a motion to strike because the Attorney General is representing people like these judges, and I sued these judges in their private capacity, and I filed a motion to strike. As a matter of fact, what I did is the U.S. Attorney appeared and called me a sovereign citizen, and I went and I said, I am so sad and disappointed that she went and said that. I said, first of all, Congress in 1940 said that all Americans are sovereign citizens. And number one, and I said number two, the Supreme Court in 1873 said everyone and everything not privileged is sovereign. And I said, so how come she's not sovereign? Oh, I forgot. She's a government employee. That's a privilege. And then I said, it sounds like she's being vindictive and taking reprisals against me for my political beliefs, and the United States of America cannot commit treason, and therefore she can't possibly be representing the United States of America, because Will Livingston's my fourth great uncle, and I am United States of America. And so she can't possibly be representing the United States of America, and I want her pleading stricken from the record.
Yeah, sounds like she might be a little biased there.
Well, she disappeared. I haven't heard a peep from her since. And I'll bet you another judge, another lawyer will appear. I've had that happen before, where the lawyer comes back and says, you know, I've been transferred to another department, this other lawyer's taken over.
They give the newbie the greenhorn. Yeah, let's bring him in. Let him see what happens now. Oh yeah, they do that a lot. The old switcheroo.
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead, man. What's your YouTube channel? Oh, we're trying to find it.
Sovereign Living. Sovereign Living, all one word. I'll put it in the chat.
Go ahead. Yeah, SOVER, and they changed the spelling.
No. There's other imitators. They don't have. I have about 40,000 subscribers. I've got these Scales of Justice. Matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll put a link to it in the chat too.
There's also some questions in the chat as well, the Grand Front Room, if you want to take questions there.
Yeah, and the link for We Are.
All right, again, like I said, it's live. And, but I wanted to kind of get that point, rewind it back, so that way you can hear that, because it was interesting, right? For me anyway. And I want to record it, because sometimes his videos actually go into a private category. He still has them, but it's in a different area, and not on what we're watching now. All right. Don't know why. I don't know if it's because of UT, but still remains that I wanted to kind of get this and share it to give you a taste of outside the box. Never look straight forward. Always look around you. Be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. People, doing the exact same thing over and over and over makes you insane. Till then, bye y'all.